what I am doing today is B-Chan added a whole bunch of features to the game yesterday that allow us to control the spawning system, add more variety to the game, add more diversity of ships that spawn and attack you in terms of what weapons they're using or how they decide which module types they're going to use. We've also now got this system for mini-bosses that spawn in the game. So I'm tuning all of those systems, and while I'm sitting here tuning and playing, I'll spend some time soon sort of explaining how the system works. But right now what I'm experimenting with is, if you're familiar with the original Captain Forever, I'm going to turn my sound down a bit. In that game, it tended to be... The game is quite random, and one of the things that is certainly quite random, not random about it, but actually kind of consistent, is that in earlier levels, enemy ships tend to be really tiny. They tend to have they'll tend to have between 1 and 3 modules on them, bulkheads on them, so they tend to be really small. And one problem with that is that you'll tend to end up fighting enemies like this guy here, right? That he's got 2 bulkheads on him, but they've been placed vertically, and he's only got 1 weapon, and it's on the front of his ship, which, just what happened then, it tends to end up being that you shoot that weapon off because the guy is trying to turn to face you, and that can be really frustrating, and you leave without having gotten to salvage anything from the ship, and that can be a little bit frustrating to play. So something that the new system allows, that B-Chan has given me access to here, it allows me to control how many bulkheads, how many girders, I guess you can call them as well, get spawned on enemy ships, and then how that ramps up over the course of the game. And so I'm trying out I'm seeing how it feels to have early game enemies spawn with more stuff, more like this guy here, right? Like he's chosen to spawn with 2 girders, which means that they're mirrored, right? Like he actually ends up with 4 because 2 get spawned on one side and then they get mirrored on the other one. Oops, and then I get killed. So yep, I'm succeeding at making the game tougher, which means that the enemies that you're fighting right from the get-go early in the game are going to have... They're going to be more heavily armored, they're going to have more weapons, they're going to be tougher to fight, but on the flip side, when you destroy them, you've got more of a chance of actually getting some modules out of the battle and getting to use them. Like this guy here, right? Like in the original game, you would never have something like that spawn. So this guy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then mirrored on the other side. So he's got 9 or 10 modules and more weapons than you would tend to see. So when I destroy this guy, even if I'm not very good at picking him apart, I'm still a lot more likely to end up with a weapon or 2 and a thruster or 2 to throw onto my ship, which is exactly what just happened. The new system also allows me to make... We've had this difficulty ramp system in the game for a while, and I've just done some tuning to make it a little more... to make the game feel a little more sort of aggressive or difficult in general. Stick that on the bag on the front. So now difficulty ramps up quite a bit more quickly than it used to. Enemies are more. That means that enemies are more aggressive. There tends to be more of them. All of this is sort of in reaction to the last round of testing that we did. We added this bonus system, so between levels you get bonuses, and we added a bunch of new module types, and we did added a whole bunch of other systems and did some tuning that sort of swayed the game towards it being a little bit easier than the original game, or actually quite a bit easier. And what we found with our playtests was that, yeah, it's true, the game was easier. People like Ichiro from Dejaban, was able to finish the game without too much difficulty, and same was true for me. I played the original game a lot, and you know, I was finding it not that hard to beat our game. So now, in general, enemies are more aggressive. They have more units. The variety of weapons or module types that they'll have on them can be quite a bit more varied than what we've had thus far. And then, like I said, there's this other system here, right? Mini-bosses. The mini-bosses are optional bosses. Optional enemies that you can attack. So there's one over here, right? They are 2 levels above your ship, which means that they've got modules on them that are much more powerful, have more health, are heavier than what you have and what all the other enemies in the level have. They tend to be bigger than all the other enemies in the level. So they kind of represent a really tough combat challenge. They can take you out with one hit if my command module is left unprotected. But if I kill one, if I destroy it, then I get to take a whole bunch of really powerful salvage with me into the next level, depending on what was left behind after the battle. And I get to pick a bonus. So the bonus perks that appear in between levels aren't free anymore. You have to kill a mini-boss. So I'm actually going to take this guy off right off the bat and try to poke him. There's a problem right now too where enemies sometimes aren't very maneuverable, like this guy here. You know, I can kind of go up and poke him, but B-Chan is working on a partial fix for that today. It's this concept of wingtips, where the game will look at sort of the extents of the ship. So in this case, it would be these surfaces here, and this surface right here, and this surface right here, or this one, and it'll pick either weapons or thrusters to put onto it. So you're going to tend to have enemies that can turn a little bit more easily. Okay, so I'm going to see how far I can get in this game, and then have some takeaways about how the difficulty is feeling. The game is already feeling a lot more difficult, but not frustratingly so, which I think is a good thing. This new stuff is cool. I can't turn. My goal today is to get the game and its current systems to a place where I can send a build off to Turo and say, Turo, I don't think you're going to be able to beat this, and then see what he comes back at me with. We made some other changes in the last couple of days too. You can now zoom the camera out further. There's a bit of a bug here. You can see there's some issues with the background, but zooming out further is very useful, especially for later levels where enemies can the engagement distances are much larger. So now you can zoom out far enough that you'll be able to see enemies that are shooting at you, and you'll have less cases of shots coming in from off screen and smacking you in the face. Let's see, we've made some other little changes too. I've been updating some of the in-game assets. We've got new projectiles. The exhaust from thrusters is starting to look a bit better. There's some issues, but it's improving. I'm gonna take out this guy so that I can warp. All right, got him. And I'll take you out too. I need more thrusters so that I can turn. I'm going to throw some thrusters way out on the sides here so that if I face them backwards like this, then not only can I back up, but I can turn a lot more quickly too, because they fire off when I turn. It's kind of like when I was a kid, I had a remote control car that worked this way. When you'd tell it to turn, not only would it turn its front wheels, it would turn its back wheels as well. It's kind of the same concept here. Let me stick these over here. Stick that. Let's see. I'm lacking symmetry right now. There we go. Put these guys out on the sides. And I don't want to be any heavier, so I'm not gonna grab those bulkheads. So I'm still pretty comfortably making it through the early levels here. So okay, so I killed a mini boss, which means that I get to pick a bonus. I can have critical hits, I can level up all my thrusters, or I can get health back when I kill enemies. I'm gonna do critical hits. So now anytime that I deal damage to something, I have a chance for a critical hit. You just saw one there. Okay, there's a mini-boss over in this direction. We're also debating right now whether or not mini-bosses and your primary targets should get marked on the screen like this. In the original game, it was very much the case that things off the screen were somewhat mysterious. You'd get these radar pings and you'd have some idea of like, okay, there's someone off in this direction or off in that direction, but you'd have no idea like, is it a really tough enemy? Is it a really easy enemy? Is it something really big? Is it something really small? You'd have to go and explore to find out. And that was a very sort of powerful aspect of the original game, and so now we're debating whether in this game, should it be the case that you can tell, you get that detailed information about stuff that's off the screen, or is it more like, well, my objective is to kill a level 2 enemy to progress, but it's up to me to go and find one. When I find one and it's on the screen, it'll be clear, but there's some amount of sort of exploration and like fumbling around in the dark involved. Right now we just give you all of that information. There's a mini-boss over there, and there's a level 2 enemy over here. It doesn't have very good weapons, so I think I'm going to leave it alone. We've revealed more controls under the hood for what level the weapons that appear on enemies are, and now enemies can have weapons of the same level as the command module or 2 steps below. I think I might actually change it so it's just 1 step below. It kind of sucks to kill a, I just killed a level 2 enemy, but I got a level 0 weapon off of it. That was much more satisfying. I got a couple of level 2 weapons. Oh, sorry, level 1. I'm gonna swap out these low level ones and start expanding the back of the ship. I'm gonna unbalance it a little bit. We also right now don't have excellent feedback for whether you've killed a mini boss or not. I think we'll add that later. I did not kill one, so I don't get a bonus. So now you're rewarded for taking more risk. If you take on a mini-boss, it can be really tough to kill it. But if you do manage to kill it, then you get a big reward. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go check this guy out. I think I can take that on. He's got a missile launcher on the front, thruster on the back. Oops, I don't want to destroy the... Oh man, his missiles are coming around and getting me. Got him. Okay, so now I get to take that missile launcher. Thank you. I'm gonna update the missile launcher asset today because it doesn't stand out very well from the rest of the your body. You can see it's this little tiny unit here. Anyone for a game of basketball? Okay, wow, that guy's huge. Oh god. I don't know if I can... Maybe my missiles can reach him. Yes! Oh my god. Took it out. Oh, whoa. Okay, I can destroy it, but I didn't leave very much behind. Gotta be more careful. I'm gonna put these wingtips out here. Put this back here. My ship is pretty maneuverable. I'm gonna warp to the next sector. Okay. I can choose to have more rebuild time so that when I destroy a really tough enemy, I've got more time to rebuild. Healed salvage will result in any debris, any modules getting dropped by a destroyed enemy will be fully healed if they had taken damage during the battle, and they'll be healed up. And enemy misses will mean that enemy shots can miss. They've got a pretty good chance of just sailing on by. I'm pretty good at building my ship, so I don't need one, I don't think. I'm going to go with 3 so that enemies have a chance to miss. That's come in really handy in the past. So I got a mini boss up here. Whoa! It's got a bunch of missile launchers. Eh. Kind of busted my ship. I'm going to try to cut through. I'm all lopsided now. Oh no, he's turning. Oh, no. Missiles. Yes. Alright, what do I need to clean up this mess. I'll put this out here. Uh-oh. Oh man, things are starting to get kind of tough. That guy's got twin boosters. Alright, I took out his missile launcher. Yes. Wow. Got him. Critical hit. Oh, that guy's pretty small. Even smaller now. Level 4. Got him. He had a cool ship. I kind of want to expand a bit more. I'm going to be heavy for a while, but later on I'll be able to connect stuff to this. Let's see. Whoa, there's a lot of guys. And it looks like I haven't destroyed a mini-boss yet, so if I want a bonus, maybe I can get these guys to fight. Yep, it looks like poking at each other a bit. Oh man. Try to get up here. Everybody pick on the mini-boss. Whoa. Okay, he just took out most of my stuff. Oh man, I don't have any weapons left. I am going to retreat. And hopefully at the start of the next level I can recover a bit. Oh, and I don't get a bonus. Oh no. Oh god, and that thing is made up of... It's got lightweight girders, so it's really weak. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a huge risk and use my command module weapon. He's got missile launchers. Oh no. Oh, if any of those hit me, I am out. Come on, come on, come on. Take it out. Oh. Oh no. I'm back down to nothing. Oh, taken out. That was a really interesting ship. That was a result of the new system. That guy that had nothing but girders on him. So, okay, so I'm going to dig around a bit in the code here. So this here determines how many types of girders can appear on a ship. It's between 1 and 3 types, so it'll tend to just be regular girder types, although it has a chance of spawning lightweight girders or repair kits or bubble shields. Bubble shields, I've turned them off right now because we had some problems with them, but they're in there. Launch types equals the number of weapon types that can appear on a ship. It's between 1 and 4. Thruster types between 1 and 2. We only have 2 types right now. And then we have this other system over here in global that determines the weighting for each of the different types that can appear. So in that game I saw missiles, I saw prismatic lasers, these multi-guys here. I didn't see any melee weapons, I didn't see the ripsaw, I didn't see sniper rifles, but I hadn't gotten that far into the game, so there was a chance that those were going to spawn later. Got a heal girders, I've got a chance of... These are each weighted, so when the game decides that, oh, I'm going to use, 2 girder ingredients to build this ship, it uses this weighting system to decide on which type. So regular girders are weighted, they're 7 times more likely to appear than healing girders, or light girders are 3 times as likely to appear as the healing girders, and so on. Regular weapons, the launcher is 5 times more likely to appear than any of the other weapon types. So that's cool. That was actually feeling pretty good, I thought. I think that what wasn't feeling super great to me, or at least something I want to try to change, is how large the ships were, and how large they start out at the beginning of the game. I'd already tweaked this guy here, AI unit count, which determines how many girders are placed on a ship, and I'd upped it from a minimum of 1 and a maximum of, I think it was 3, to between 2 and 5. The max felt pretty good, but I guess we could... I guess it's okay that we had little tiny ships. It just felt like they were appearing too often. I have this control here which is called the unit count bias, and this sort of sets the midpoint of the bell curve that decides whether we'll skew towards the minimum or the maximum, and I set it at 0.25, but I might try just setting it to 0.5 so that it's going to be more likely that the number of units on a ship is right in the middle of 2 and 5, so either 3 or 4, I guess, equally weighted, and then it'll go to 2 and 5. Let's see how that feels. And then I'm not sure that it was great that so these controls here, unit level min and unit level max, and then the bias, determine the level of the units, the modules that are appearing on an enemy. So say if a weapon appears on an enemy, it's either going to be the same, the max is 0, so that means that it's going to be either, it's going to have the chance to be the same level as the command module, or potentially 2 levels below, up to 2 levels below. And there were quite a few cases there, especially early in the game, where I was seeing units that were 2 steps below. It felt like it was too common for that to happen. And the bias here is set to 1, so it's going to heavily bias the same level. I wonder if... Well, I've made it so that there are going to tend to be more modules on, more surfaces to place weapons and thrusters on a ship, so maybe that will just kind of balance this out, and I'll just leave this as it is. I'll do the scientific thing and leave this alone and see if my other change had a big effect. All of these other controls are controlling things like the level of enemies that spawn, how many of each level spawns, how many levels above or below the player they can be, how quickly the game difficulty ramps up. I felt like it was ramping up quite well just then. The number of enemies that can spawn, it's between 3 and 8, and it's dependent on where you're at in the ramp. And a whole bunch of other stuff that I can go through later on. So the grace period was also feeling pretty good. Although I was feeling like the power-up that gives you extra time was feeling kind of overpowered. So these are the bonus types. Let's see, so launchers, converters. This determines if you choose the swag back, how many free items you get. I'm actually going to up that to 4, so that you get 4 of them. And it's heavily swayed towards giving you the sort of normal weapons, normal thrusters, I don't think girders are in here, although heal girders are in here. You won't get girders, and then down here, this determines what level those are. So I think it really sucks when you get something that's minus, it's a level below you. That's terrible. I'm gonna change it so that you can get something that's 2 levels above, but it's weighted very, very low. So here, the weighting for something that's the same level as you will be weighted towards 6. There'll be half a chance that you get something that's 1 level above, and then you're 6 times more likely to get something that's level 0 than you are to get something that's 2 levels above you. If that makes sense. Sorry, 6 times more likely to get something that is the same level that you are, and one times as likely to get something that's 2 levels above. I came in here to look at the, let's see, okay, enemies have a 1 in 5 chance of missing when they deal damage to you. You have a 3 in 10 chance of being healed when you kill an enemy, but it heals all of your damage. I'm actually gonna lower that so that it doesn't heal you as much. It just gives you a quarter, but it happens more often. Actually, I don't know if that's the best thing to do in our game, given that when you kill something, it ups the difficulty, and that's something we'll be feeding back more clearly soon. So you kind of want to, I don't really want this behavior of, okay, I'm really damaged, so I'm going to go out and try to heal myself, which means killing enemies. And if there's a low chance of it happening, you could really get, this bonus could get you in a bad spot where you just, for whatever reason, don't get healed when you kill something. And you end up just killing enemies over and over again, trying to get healed, and instead more enemies come and they're tougher because you're ramping up the difficulty. So I think what I might do is I'll set it to 100% chance for you to get healed, to get some healing when you kill something, but the amount that you'll get healed will just be less. It'll be a fifth of whatever the total health of the unit being healed is. It should make it feel a bit more powerful. Okay, and this is the grace period, so this is what I came in here to look. Right now, if you have this, the grace period for the amount of time that you have to rebuild is whatever the base time is plus 50%, and I think I will, it's not too bad. It means you get 30 seconds if you kill something that's a level above you. I'll leave it. That doesn't need to be screwed with. It feels nice and powerful. And right now you have a 1 in 20 chance of landing a critical hit, and it does 3 times as much damage. That doesn't feel powerful enough to me. I think that the amount of time, the occurrence, the rate of occurrence of critical hits feels pretty good, but when I land one, I don't really feel like it really did that much more damage. And you want the player to feel like, okay, this was worth choosing because I'm dealing a bunch of damage. Now this does currently stack too, so if you select it again, in successive stages, then these increase. I think that they, you get this added to whatever your current total is. So if you chose this again, the amount would be 6, and the chance would be 0.1. So I need to take that into account. But I think I'm just going to try to sway this in a direction where it's just a lot more damage and see how it feels. And then we can pull back from there if it doesn't work out. So, okay, I'm saving all of that stuff. And I might, let's see, should I poke Twitter again to let people know that I'm doing this? Yeah, I'm going to put the recording up after this. I got one person watching right now. Hello, whoever you are. It's probably VGen. Alright, so. And again, our goal is to make the game too hard for Ichiro from Deijiban Games. I'll be sending him this build later with a message that says, I bet you can't beat this. Okay, so already the enemies that are appearing are sort of around the same size as me, actually. They have more weapons. This guy down here has got 3 weapons. This guy's got... He only had 1, but he's got a whole bunch of thrusters. Right now, when the game places a thruster... When it places something onto a bulkhead, and it needs to decide whether it's a weapon or a thruster, the choice between those 2 things is more or less completely random. It's got an equal chance of going in either direction. And there's that basketball again. I'm going to fly in a different direction. I've also been working on background. I've been working on the art for the backgrounds a little bit more, and B-Chan has been working on the tech that drives how the background sort of gets displayed. It wraps now, so if I fly to the edge of the world, I'll come back around to the front of the world. Okay, that's a lot of bulkheads. I don't know if I want to make it so that I can fly backwards a bit more. I'm gonna build a crazy ship. Explore some weird shapes. Okay, so before I'm gonna take a look at what this mini boss looks like, and then I'm gonna choose whether I should take him on. Okay, I could take him on. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. But this guy's got a bunch of weapons. I'm gonna try to take him. Actually, this is totally not gonna work. Oh man, I wanna be careful. Okay, I took that out. Yes, I got 1, and then he destroyed 1. Oh no. Alright, game is definitely becoming a little tougher. I don't get time to rebuild if the enemies that I'm destroying are the same level as me. Or I don't get much time. Okay, actually I got a whole bunch just then. I think that's because it stacks. So if I destroy this guy, I got an extra 10 seconds added. If I destroy this guy, it's also going to add some more time. I got 40 seconds to rebuild. Any enemies that are already attacking you, they're going to ignore the call to flee if they are more powerful than the enemy that was destroyed. So, you know, a level 2 enemy doesn't care if you just manage to take out a level 1 enemy, because he's way more powerful than that level 1 enemy. He doesn't get spooked. Alright, I'm gonna swap out these low level weapons. I'm gonna put them on the back of my ship. They might come in use later. I still got a whole bunch of time to rebuild, so I'm just gonna take the time. I'm still in danger because if I'm currently level... This is the first level. And so if a more powerful enemy shows up and decides to attack me, it's not going to care that I'm rebuilding, so I still always need to watch your back in this game. It doesn't matter how well you're doing or how powerful your ship is. There's always something more powerful than you lurking out there. Okay, I've run out of time to rebuild. Now you're starting to see radar pings show up, which means that some enemies are watching out for me. Okay, these guys are all coming in to get me, so I'm going to get out. And I get to pick a bonus. So, if I pick more number 1, I'll level up on my bulkheads. If I pick number 2, I'll get more rebuild time. And number 3 is enemies can miss. So I'm going to go with more build time this time around and see how that feels. The fact that, you know, if I kill an enemy that's the same level as me, I get 10 seconds. If I then kill another one while that 10 seconds is in effect, it adds another 10 seconds to the clock. And like you saw back there, I got in a situation where I had a ton of time to rebuild. Maybe that's okay. Alternatives are that we would just set a limit to how large your rebuild clock can be. And so you'd be able to kill enemies to get more time on the clock, but it would, if it hit its max, then it would stop. Okay, so now I'm getting lightweight girders. These things have less health, but they are also much, much lighter. So you tend to want to place them on the back of your ship, where they're not going to get shot at. Probably not going to get shot at. Put these in here. These little outlets. Oops. Okay. Whoa, that's a lot of guys coming in. That guy's quite powerful. I'm gonna try to avoid him. Ugh, this is dangerous. I'm gonna get over here. I think we're definitely starting to reach a point where Chiro is not going to be as reliably able to beat the game. I think that now the game might be ramping up in difficulty a little too quickly. The number of enemies that shows up feels fine, but it seems to just sort of occur too early. And so I think that the change that I might make next will be... oh man, my ship is being torn to bits. Will be to extend the ramp out so that you have to kill more ships before it really ramps up. I think right now it'll hit its max at 7. So you kill 7 enemy ships, and the number of ships that will be attacking you at that point is as high as it will ever be for the level that you're in, for the stage that you're in. Oh man, it's like 5 guys just spawned. Yeah, this is kind of crazy. So we're going to prefabs, global. Okay, so the quota between 3 and 8 enemies can spawn, and the number of enemies that spawn is distributed over this ramp. It goes from 0 to 7. 0 to 7 enemies killed. This morning this was set to, the end of the ramp was set to 10, and I lowered it to 7. I think that might be a little lower. I also increased the number of enemies that can spawn from 6 to 8. So I think having 8 enemies attacking at once is fine, but it should happen a little later. I'm going to set the ramp to 11, so this will distribute the number of enemies that can spawn over a longer ramp. There's currently a quarter chance that an enemy that is a level above you will attack you, and then that increases over the ramp to 1. I wonder if I place that, if I make that higher than 1, will that mean that it'll have a chance of 1 sooner in the ramp? I think that's kind of desirable, so that, you know, even before the ramp has hit its max, enemies that are higher level than you are going to start attacking. And then, if you keep killing enemies, more of them will appear. Okay, the quota is pretty good. Okay. I think those are some good changes. Okay. I'm going to build forward-facing ship. I'm going to try, this time around, I'm going to try to keep my command module at the very back of my ship at all times. There goes a mini-boss. We've also been talking about whether or not mini-bosses should be spawning right at the beginning of the level, or whether there should be some different logic or rules there. I'm not quite sure. You know, all of this stuff is quite experimental and speculative. it's tended to be that we'll come up with some high-level goals, things that we want to change about the game and add, and then it's often not clear what the details of a new system are. And yesterday, Beachet and I had a conversation about this new stuff that you're seeing, and we both found it extremely difficult to communicate in detail about, the range of ships that should be appearing and the rules that govern how they get constructed. And so, a really lucky thing is that Beachet is a really good designer as well as being coder on this project, so he was sort of able to go away and just, not come up with the details himself and just try some stuff out and then get it into the game. And then this morning we spent some time actually looking at the system that is there and talking about it and talking in detail about how it works so that I understood the underlying rules, and now I'm just able to play it. And later we'll be able to come back around and talk about whether what we have in here is working, what's good about it, what's bad about it, what we might want to change. But the system that's here right now is quite simple but elegant, and playing right now and seeing how the game has changed, it's feeling like it's a pretty good rule set. There's a lot more. I'm seeing a lot more variety in the game. Difficulty is feeling a lot tougher, but not necessarily in a bad way. One thing that I'm really enjoying right now is that you're seeing in these early levels that I have a wider range of choice in terms of the targets that I'm picking. There's more variety, and some ships have just got a thruster and a weapon and maybe a couple of bulkheads on them. Others have a whole bunch of them, and so I kind of have to make these calls on, do I want to take on the really big tough guy with tons of weapons, or do I want to take on the dinky little guy that's not going to be able to shoot at me? You're making judgments based on how difficult it's going to be to beat the ship that you're looking at, versus how desirable the modules that it has on it are to you. With bigger risk comes bigger reward, because if you attack a big powerful ship, it's going to likely drop more modules at the end of the battle. And that's what this game is all about. So that's cool. I'm amplifying that. This guy over here is pretty tough. Is he a level 0 enemy? I've already killed... Sorry, he's a level 1. I've already killed one of those, so if I go kill a mini-boss... If I go kill a mini-boss, then I can get a bonus. I think I can take this guy on. I'm not even gonna try to go around the back of him. He's not very maneuverable. There we go. Cool. Now I get a bonus. 20 seconds to rebuild. So he's 2 levels above me, which means that I get a lot more time to rebuild. I got something like 25 seconds. So I can choose to level up all my weapons, or I can choose a bonus that will cause enemies to miss sometimes, or I can choose more rebuild time. I got a lot of weapons right now, but they're all level 0, so I'm gonna level them up. Turn a bit better. So when I press X to warp at the end of a sector, you can see right now it's leaving me in basically the same sector. I'm not moving. The background's the same. Any modules that were left over in the last level are still around. That of course isn't the case. This is just, this system is pretty early. Eventually it'll be that you'll actually you'll hit the warp drive and you'll travel really far to the next sector in the solar system, and the background will change, and anything that was left behind in the old, in the last location that you're in will be left behind. Any debris that was around won't be around anymore. I won't be able to go and scavenge stuff that was sitting there. So, okay. I'm gonna try... Oh man, that guy could totally take me out. I'm not gonna touch him. And he's not aggressive. Right now, mini-bosses are... By default, they are not aggressive, but... We talked this morning about maybe changing that. So that at least there's a chance that they'll be aggressive, and maybe that chance for them being aggressive has something to do with where you're at in the difficulty ramp, or other such factors. Oh, he's just sailing on by, and that guy's watching him go. Oh, what's that guy doing? Oh, and now he's chasing him. Alright, so I still don't really have enough weapons to take on the mini-boss. I got one extra weapon here. Maybe this one up here is a bit easier. Let me go see. Yeah, he's got lightweight girders, which are very weak, so I can... There we go. And I want those. I'm gonna start building my ship forward again. The way I'm building my ship is a little bit risky, because if any of these get hit, the entire front of my ship is gone. But... I like taking risks. So I'm gonna do it. I want to put this down here, put my most powerful weapon at the front. Just destroy that. We talked about having a bonus that heals your ship if you destroy bits of debris that are floating around. So instead of putting them onto your ship, you get to get healed. So module swag bag. I tuned that a little bit so it should give me more powerful swag. I think I'm going to try that out. Cool. So I got a couple of thrusters. I got a level 2 ship. If you're wondering how I'm telling what level these are, the information's down here in the corner. So I'm going to take that more powerful weapon, stick that there. Stick this one here. And that's a level 4, which is crazy. That's cool that I got one of those. That was a really valuable bonus that I just chose. So, oh, there's someone approaching. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I can totally use my powerful laser to destroy these guys. Except that it really is tearing them apart. Okay, this guy's got twin thrusters and he's a mini-boss, but I feel like I can take him out because I just got that swag bag. So let's see if that's true. He's having trouble turning around. Oh, yes, cool. And now I got even more powerful weapons. So, I'm going to continue building my ship out in this sort of forward-facing manner. I've got twin boosters, which is awesome. I'm going to stick these on the sides, so those allow me to go forward and back. Boop, boop, boop. You can see that. Stick this red one on the back, that'll allow me to turn faster. Get rid of that. And I'm going to put all of these pink level 4 weapons onto the front because they are more powerful and they look really nice. And I got a pink thruster back here as well. I'm just going to shove that in there. And I'm going to put this lightweight girder on the front here too. Okay. So now I've got weapons that have a little bit more range than the enemies that are attacking me because I took the risk of taking on that mini-boss, which is cool. So I'm going to take these guys out from afar, which is leaving me a whole bunch of stuff. Man. This is allowing me to be very powerful. I think I might be getting too much rebuild time though. The way that it stacks. Not only did I just get a whole bunch of stuff to put onto my ship, but I also had 40 seconds to put it all on. Hello? I haven't been able to put it all on, and enemies are going to be on the way in a second. So maybe it's not that bad. checking to see if anyone's coming. There's someone over there. It's a little bit like... This reminds me of checking through your inventory in, say, System Shock or Bioshock. Or, I really loved the way that Zombie U did this, where, because of the Wii U controller, I'm gonna get out of here, you had your inventory, you had your like knapsack full of stuff, and so when you would rummage through that thing, your character would kneel down on the ground and go through it, and you'd have to look down at your controller to see what was in your inventory and take your eyes off the screen, and that meant that enemies could sneak up on you. And you know, in this game, I find that you tend to want to zoom the camera in to build your ship, which means that you can't see stuff approaching. So every now and then, you kind of have to zoom back out to get a look at them. So now I can level up on my bulkheads. I can do critical hits, or I can take on more rebuild time. My bulkheads, a lot of them are kind of weak at this point. They're level 0 plus. They are forming the basis of my entire ship, so that's really dangerous. I'm going to level them up so they've got a little bit more health. As long as I keep enemies firing at the front of my ship and not at the back of it, then I'm relatively safe. Oh, everyone here has sniper rifles, which is dangerous. Let's see how far they shoot. They shoot really far. Is this guy this guy's like a level 3. Let's see if I can take him out from afar. I want those sniper rifles, although they're quite weak sniper rifles, and I just shot them off of him. So... It's a mini-boss over there. This guy's got lots of twin boosters. Those are very helpful. I'm going to stick those into the inside of my ship so that they're a bit protected in here. Wow, I can turn really well. That's cool. Oh, I can take this guy out and get those sniper rifles. Yes, cool. Alright. That over there. This is a time where I really wish I had healed salvage, because I badly damaged everything that came off of that ship. And if I had that bonus type, then that would not be the case. I'm also going to try to build some struts here. Connect these two so that they're coming in the front. So I'm kind of continuing to keep my command module. It's right back here, right? Like everything that I'm putting onto my ship is coming at the front of it. And that's so that I can keep it back there protected. I don't usually do that because there's still a chance that an enemy might come at me from some other vector and sneak up and take me out, but I'm hoping that that won't happen and that this strategy will work. Okay, this guy's got sniper rifles too, and he's level 4, so okay. Upgrade this. Guy's got girders. I'm really liking the range of modules that are appearing on enemies now. I feel like, you know, like this guy over here, he's got a lot of sniper rifles. This guy over here does too. I'm seeing more lightweight girders, which is due to the chance for them to show up being weighted a little more evenly with the normal girders. I think it's like half chance, which feels good because you want the player making that decision more often of do I take the weaker girders that are lighter, or do I take the ones that are heavier but have more health? Oh, that guy's got a cool ship. He's got a lot of sniper rifles. And that guy, if he shoots him, he's gonna aggro him, so I'm gonna take him out. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna try to just get in and blast him to bits before he can do anything. Alright, come on. It's working. It's mostly working. Yes. Oh man. Okay, I've got 25 seconds to rebuild. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna keep building out to the front. Okay, that sniper rifle should go. I'm gonna replace my sniper rifles with these guys. At that point in there. This one can go here. That's a lot of sniper rifles. That's really cool. This one's a bit weaker, but I'll put it there. Oh, and I'm out of time. That guy's gonna come over in a second. Some more thrust. Ah. Okay, here comes someone. I'm gonna get to the next level now. Oh, there's a bug. Those guys spawn on top of each other. Okay, and I'm going to level up my weapons, which is crazy. Now my sniper rifles shoot faster, they do more damage. I'm going to ignore that debris because in the case where you'd actually travel to a new level, that wouldn't be there, so just to kind of preserve the thought that this is, you know, the game is working as we actually intended, I'm going to leave that. Sweet. Even more sniper rifles. Kind of starting to broaden the front of my ship now so that there's more room to put weapons into the middle here, which is what I want because I have so many of them, which is awesome. Oh, that guy's got repair kits. That's new. I'm getting surrounded here though, so I'm gonna get over here. The variety of the sizes of the ships that are spawning is starting to feel really good too. You know, I'm getting a nice mix of, there's really big guys, there's really small ones. Oh, I just totally destroyed that guy. It's a lot more varied than what we had yesterday before we added these new features. It's really cool. That guy totally tore me apart because he's a boss and because he was well protected. And I have a sniper rifle left now. Oh man. Let me try to get him. Okay. What do I do about this? I've got 25 seconds, so okay, I'm gonna get rid of that. Get rid of that. I'm gonna replace it with this. These have more health. I'm gonna use these repair kits so that anything connected to those will get healed up. I'm not gonna use my lightweight girders because I need a little bit more. I need to more reliably keep this stuff protected. I'll put that in there, a lot of repair kits. Okay, I've only got 2 weapons, which is really not ideal. I'm going to replace some of these older thrusters so that I'm a little bit more maneuverable. And now so I took out a mini-boss, so no more mini-bosses are going to appear. But I still need to take out a level 5 enemy. And I really can't turn well anymore, so I might just... If I stick these on the sides, then I can turn a bit better. I've got to try to take this guy out down here. My sniper rifle's got quite good range, so... That guy's been there for a while. I think he got stuck. Alright, so I'm gonna keep some health kits in reserve back here and have them heal each other, just in case. Hi. My wife is heading out somewhere. Okay. I've only got 2 weapons, which is really not ideal. I think that before I move on, I'm going to stick around and try to get some more, because it's not good to go to a new sector and not have weapons, because the enemies in the new sector are going to be more powerful than what I'm fighting here, so I don't want to go there and not only have not very many weapons, but also have weapons that are weaker. So let me, if I can take that guy out, okay, and if I can take out his friend. Oops, and I'm getting approached from the other side. That guy's not going to leave me alone, because he doesn't care that I just destroyed those lower level enemies. But I got some weapons. I'm very carefully moving forward. Ah, no. Oh, man. See, this is probably my downfall, was leaving the back of my ship unprotected. Like I said, it was a risk. And that guy totally just came up behind me. My command module is not protected, so I'm going to put that. Now it's protected on all sides. And I'm going to warp. The amount of time that it takes to warp to a new level increases over the course of the game. So, by 2 seconds. So now that I was in Sector 4, it took like 10 seconds. So I can repair all of my modules. I can get healed salvage, or I can level up my thrusters. My ship is pretty badly damaged right now, so I'm going to heal everything. I don't want to go near that mini-boss yet. I'm going to fly over in this direction. Oh man, that guy is powerful. Bringing everything to bear. I got one new weapon. Put this heal kit up the front, repair kit. This on the side. This in the back. And I want that guy's sniper rifles ups, and he is totally coming for me. This is cool. The game is feeling a lot harder. So I'm in Sector 5, which is the halfway mark. I'm kind of taking my time, because I feel like if I don't, I'm going to be building a ship that isn't quite ready to deal with. I'm going to heal this up. See, now that I got these heal kits sort of in reserve back here, I can just stick stuff onto it for a couple of seconds to heal. I'm going to put some weapons out to the sides as well. I'm going to use these twin boosters on the back here, so that'll further help me turn. This one as well. And now I'm going to... Oh, man. Get away from that. And I'm not gonna fight those guys. I'm gonna try to... Maybe I should skip getting a bonus this time. That guy's got ripsaws, so now ripsaws are appearing to the melee weapon type. They're currently not as useful as we would like them to be. You have to get in... Of course you have to get in really close, but you maybe have to get a bit too close. Whoa, that guy had a lot of repair kits. Look at that. Okay. That'll help repair me for the next level. I'm going to try to put one underneath each weapon. These are also kind of heavy. This is the downside to putting a lot of them on your ship. Keep some in reserve back here. Hide these boosters inside of my ship. This one, and this one. Okay, screw it. I'm not going to fight a mini-boss. I'm just going to get out of here because these guys are starting to tear me up. Oh no, I got 8 seconds. Ugh. Get out of my way. Okay, I didn't get a bonus. And like I said earlier, I'm going to avoid this debris because it's technically not supposed to be there. There's a mini-boss chasing me. Turning. So now I've built this colossus of a ship. And I really need more thrusters. That's what I'm really wanting for. See, that guy is a lot more maneuverable than me. Oh man, and he's decided to attack me, and he has very powerful prismatic lasers. Oh no. Okay, oh. Okay, what do I do? Maybe I need to... Nope, I'm just gonna try to run. Oh, that guy's got ripsaws. Oh man, when I touch it, I get a lot of damage. Maybe these guys will take each other out. Nope, totally taken out my weapons. Well, okay, I'm jettisoning everything. I'm grabbing this weapon here, and now I'm flying away. Let's see. I need this health kit. The guy's coming at me with his ripsaws. Oh no. Okay, I need to... If anyone hits me, I'm totally out of it. Okay, I'm getting away from all of this. With my little tiny Peabody. Oh god, that is a huge mini-boss. Oh, nope, I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Totally taken out. Whew. Okay, the one thing that I thought could be a good experiment after that was, again, like varying the number of pieces that can be made up, that a ship can be made up with. The max is currently 8. I feel like I didn't see that many ships that had... Sorry, it's not 8. It's... I'm looking at the wrong thing. It is 5. And I felt like I didn't see that many ships that felt noticeably bigger than the other ships that were around. I think it's partially because 1 point is added to each of these counts, the min and the max, with each level that you go up with. And so it just means that by the time that you're further into the game, the variation in size is a little bit less noticeable because ships might just have, you know, there's a difference of 3 modules, but the difference, the count difference between the min and the max doesn't change over the course of the game. I think that's true. So that might be something where you might want to change. And I have a document that I use to keep track of this stuff, so I'm going to make a note about that. You're seeing all my secret notes. So there's not much I can really do to change that. I think for now, it's feeling pretty good early game, so if I change this, it's not going to have a dramatic effect on the late game, so I'm going to leave it as it is. Grace period is 12 seconds and then increments by 10. Oops, I don't want to do that. Okay, I think this was pretty successful. It feels like I'm much less likely to make it through to the end of the game now, as someone who's played a lot of the game. So I'm going to send this off to Mr. Chio and let him see if he can beat it. Thanks for watching, everyone that tuned in, and if you're watching this on YouTube. If you like what you saw, go visit CaptainForeverRemix.com. You can pre-order the game. If you visit our Tumblr, there's a link on the website. You can follow development. And that's it for today. Thanks again.